in times of lockdown, what we are doing is working from home, and the children over here are given a liberty to do whatever they can, especially the trend of Netflix and the Amazon Prime videos and whatnot. There are endless things which are getting streamed online, and even the TV sets, they provide so a range of TV shows, movies, in fact, game shows, and whatnot. And as adults, when we get bored, we are becoming couch potatoes. And this is something which gets conveyed to our children without say. So one fine day I noticed that since this work from home thing started, my son's TV time increased, like it quadrupled most likely. So I was concerned that how I can curb it out. I keep on doing activities with him, that's not an issue, but the thing is, at this time when he is not able to go out to parks, and he is not able to go to the library which I used to take him to, and he is not able to meet his age group people, his friends, and more so there are children who were going to school and now they are stuck at home. The children who are a little bit elder, like 5 years and above, they demand that why cannot I have a play date with my friends, why don't you call my friend over here, or why cannot I go and meet my friends since the schools are out. So how can you deal with such situations is the topic I'm concerned upon, and I'll talk about it. So yes, their physical activities are restricted, but that in no respects mean that you are allowed to replace the physical activities with games, like PS games or TV time or any such thing which is hampering their mental as well as physical growth is not good for them. So what should we be doing? First focus points should be their physical activities should not be restricted. So how we can do it? We can make the outdoor games being transformed into an indoor game. Like you can have cricket, bat ball is there, you have football with you, or the soccer ball, which a lot of people name it as. So this kind of things can be done. And yes, you should never be compromising upon their eating and sleeping routines. If the child gets up at 7 o'clock, maybe you should not break the routine of that, because you as parents are sleeping like 2 or 3 o'clock because you are busy doing nothing. You do not have to go to office. So under no circumstances you should change your routine, because you tend to get lazy, and then you tend to create an example of someone who procrastinates, and the children are actually imbibing all the habits which you guys are doing. So yeah, that is somewhat the gist of it. And how we can do it, now let's talk on it. There are few activities which are learned by fun, and I'll be elaborating about it. And then there are coloring activities which you can involve them into. And how do I contain my kid at home? There are two things which I wanted to talk about him during this circumstance, that what is the need of telling them that coronavirus is spreading, and why you are under a house arrest, and what is work from home. A lot of children do not know all this. Then you can make paper toys for your children. I hope you all must be familiar with all such things. So taking in aspect one point at a time. So learn by fun activities. What I wanted to talk to you about, I need my son in that, so I'll come to that in this point later on. But yes, there are a few things which I have already made for my son. This is like children for preschoolers. They are aged from 2.5 to 4 years maybe. you can draw some things like these, like you draw alphabets, the capital format and the small letter format, and you can do a puzzling sort of thing that you have to recognize where is the capital A, where is small a. You can make things which start from the same letter, like I have done over here, and then you can ask them to color. My son has already colored as per his choice. So these are the things which I found that he is able to relate to, like corn, cart, from C all these letters are things are there, cat. So from A to Z I have prepared it. I got it printed out, and even if you do not have a printer at home, you can just take out any rough sheet, you can draw it out, because children, they do not want that it has to be under certain sequence or it has to look a certain way. It is we adults who perceive that everything has to be perfect, you know. So it does not matter to them whether you have made a thing handwritten or it is a printout. It's just that you are sitting along with your kid, and you are just being productive. So this was the thing. And I had this book about my country. So this is a good time for children to teach them about your roots. Where do you come from? What's your nationality? What is the ideal thought process of your country? Maybe just like that. And since Ramadan is coming, so you can tell the thoughts about UAE, that how giving is this community, and how open and welcoming UAE is to all the expats which are here. This thing yes, is not applicable to children 3 years and below. You can talk it out to your children who are 5 years plus, who understand all these things. So yes, I will be calling up my son. And yes, talking about your not changing your daily routines, is that you are also someone who do not want to get lethargic. You do not want to change your routine. So what you can do is, you still get up on the time of your office. Instead of getting up at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock maybe, you still try and get up by 7 o'clock. And what you can do is 10 minutes workout routines, like either a pranayam, yoga if you are into that, or basic stretches. Like I do it with my son most of the times, and I will just be able to show you through what I do. There is a video of his and mine which we did, but it was a long time back. So my phone over here. So these are the numbers which we have drawn. I got it laminated quite a while back. So this is a number on which you can trace numbers, and this is an ice cream scoop. Here are the scoops which show what is the quantity. So Nab does it. Okay, he wants to show it. And how do you place your numbers? Can you show? Say hi, I'm Nab.
Hi, I'm Anna.
Okay.
I'm not this thing.
Okay, fine. He's very happy. He does not understand what he has to talk about. So yes, please show them how many iron scoops are there in one. How many scoops do you put?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yay, 5. So where can you put 5 scoops over here? Can you count? We usually do the clay play with it, and for children. गंदे हो जाएंगे hands. अच्छा ठीक है, तो train बना के दिखाओगे? Number train you have already made, which we had made. This is continuing handling with mobile. So this is a number train which we have made, and he has worn my slippers. Okay, this is how it looks like. Okay, now can you tell them how many numbers are there? Can you count on the train?
One.
So these are the cutouts which you can make easily. You can draw any numbers over here, 1 to 10, or as long as you want to continue it up to, you can do that. So Now he is again gone on a play mode. So yes, this was the thing. And if your child is smaller than the age to recognize numbers and patterns, once my son was around 6 months old, I made this shape sorter, which I'll be going to show you right now. Here it goes. And this is the thing which I had made for him. This is just by using a thermocol sheet, which I cut out in particular shapes. I painted it, and हाँ वो वाला नक्को बहुत अच्छा लगता था. So this is what was there. And also you can yes, so this was for children who are less than a year old maybe, so they'll be able to develop a sensory touchy feeling thing. They'll be able to develop their pincer grips in it. And likewise you can also introduce many sensory plays, there is you can freeze some pom-poms which are frozen in water, and you can put lukewarm water so that they can check about the temperatures. And likewise there are activities and learn by fun where you can do a pattern recognition. Then there are booklets in which there are sounds and different words which start with the same alphabet. I have that thing in my Instagram somewhere. If you need, I can share about that interactive e-learning book. And there are sink float activities. There are activities like water resistant stuff, why water spills into something. And yes, so what I have started doing with my son these days, because his energy has to be channelized some way or the other, otherwise he makes the house turn topsy-turvy. And Papa se bolo. Do you want to talk? So you can talk over here, otherwise you go and play with Papa. Yes, that's also a trick you can do, that you can engage your husbands when they have a free time from their working hours. You can ask them to take over your role, and they can teach them to play we are from India, so we somehow have our hearts and souls in cricket. So likewise there are people who play soccer at home. It's not a big deal that you can turn out your living room into a play area. Just put the fragiles away from their aura and let them have a session. And I swear my son loves it. In fact, if you are afraid that some of your stuff will get broken, or your child is smaller than that who can bump into something, so what you can do is just take some balloons, fill in air, and do a play. You can play a piggy in the middle with them. You can play hide and seek at home, and all sorts of things. And yes, channelizing the energy in a positive way, which will actually shape out their good characteristics. In those lines, I would tell you that what I do with my son these days, I have introduced the term the big helper, which was an initiative which he took all by himself. And one fine day we were just talking about, thank you Dinah, and I hope you like it. And also I'm going to talk about how I made him my big helper in a few things, and he just loves it. I started asking him who wants to be a big helper when I'm doing some routine kitchen chores. So he just jumped over it and he said, yes mama, I would like to help you out, because I'm a big boy now, though he's just 3. But children like such encouragements, that you tell them they are grown up enough, that you are actually putting your faith in them, that they are able to pull the show. So I asked him that okay fine, I'm washing some dishes, will you be able to help me sort them out? And to my surprise, he actually did. The glassware was separately poured, the silverware was put separately. He knows that big forks are to be placed where, small spoons are to be placed where, and I was happy with that. And the other day, what I found him doing, he helped me make rotis. That is so cute, and you'll just be in awe and praises for your children that they can do such things. It's not that they need to actually make a roti, make a flatbread, but it was something which he felt that he is able to contribute, and he was very happy. So were we. And I made a video and I shared it to my family members that how he is doing all that. And one day he helped me make smoothie and some Indian condiments are there, or say milkshake, and smoothie is one Indian smoothie which is his favorite is a lassi. That is just yogurt which is flavored with rose milk and a little bit of cardamom. And he helped me make it. And then there were days where he asks that whenever I'm chopping vegetables in a chopper, he asked me if he can be a big helper. So I invite him, and he does all the stuffs with me other than making a mess. So yes, of course, it's always under adult supervision. I'm always around him to tell him that he has to be safe and using all such things. And there are something which he helped me in dusting, because our helper is not coming these days. So we do brooming, we do mopping, we do dusting, and he loves dusting. Although I clear it all because I do not want him to get his hands soiled. Say hi.
Hi.
What's your name? अच्छा से बोलो, अच्छा से बोलो. Oh yes, one more thing. He's a bilingual kid. That is, he knows Hindi and English. And this is also a right time for you under house arrest to tell your children, oh my goodness, I cannot show you down what he has done. So yes, you can teach your children different languages. In fact, you also can get involved in learning a few good languages. Especially I'm working on learning Arabic these days. There are very many apps which you can search on the Play Store or take some recommendations, and likewise you can talk about it. And I'm also doing a course in positive parenting. Let's see if I can ever be a parenting coach, certified parenting coach, because I love to give advices to my friends and family, but over here you have to be certified to do all such things. Yes, there were a few things which I wanted to talk about, like making a paper airplane. So I'll just show you quickly. I guess most of you would already be knowing how you can make an airplane. So I'll just show you through over here. And there are very many DIY activities which are तुमको बनाना है. See, he now has to contribute in everything. Come, fold the paper, and I'll just show you quickly how we do it. And I hope I'm not taking much of the time. If anyone can ring a bell that my session time is over already, let me know, because I've got a gift of gab. I just yes, Nab is helping me. So this is a very easy airplane which you can make over here. Just 3-4 steps and off it goes. You show it to Papa how to make it. Yes, I keep on dodging him from here and there. If he starts eating my brain a lot, I just send him through his father. And likewise, he does it to me. And whenever the help gets refused, that he is asking for a thing again and again, if we stop that, we say, no, don't do this. People cannot listen, you know. Okay, there are so many people who have joined in. Hi Nishant, hi Akanksha. Whoa, this is good. And yes, talking about airplane, oops, that happens when you have curly hair. So yes, Dinah, yes, I feel my creativity reaches people and I'll be able to help you all. And if anybody needs a tutorial video, I can share the link over here in comments, that how you can make an aeroplane which is made of cardboard. And people usually make rockets and many things like that. I can actually I made him learn how to make paper boats and paper balls, and I will be doing a tutorial video on that instead of showing it live on this grid. And there are activities which you can do with the play mats and the building blocks. Children usually like it a lot, and even children who are lesser than 2 years of age, they love to touch and feel the senses of plastic blocks, or in these times there are wooden blocks and silicone as well. So there are a few things which are available ready in the market. There are few companies who are still showing delivering at your doorsteps. There are websites like First Cry, there are websites like spree.com, Mom's World and whatnot. So you can just check in through and find out which all places are there where you can order such blocks for your children, because I don't think so making a block which fixes upon each other will be a good time utilization for you to make at home. I did not do that, but if you are creative enough, you can do it. And yes, these are a few things which I talked about, learn by fun. And there are things like doing a face paint and making your hand impressions, thumb impressions. I helped my son to start holding a pencil, and instead of doing vertical and horizontal lines, he wanted to make me a dinosaur for him. So I just yes, but it has been already 2-3 months on which he was tracing the numbers, so he knew how to get hold of his pencil. And however he colors like this, that's for us it's absurd, but for children it's really a good creativity. These are the superheroes which he wanted me to draw. He loves Iron Man, Spider-Man and Hulk, and I just quickly drew it and he colored it, rather he smudged it. It's okay. And if you do, there are some puzzles also which you can check for your children. Too much creativity, I just hope it does not give the bouncer to anyone who is watching. I keep on doing a few things. Just a second, now I want to show one more thing. Where is your painting? My son, I taught him to do some free play with paints and colors. So this is what he did. It is ochre and folk painting. However, I later helped him out to make a rainbow, and this was some initiative I am not able to recall. It was just a ray of hope and happiness rainbow which we tried to do. Thanks a lot, Java. I hope I'm just not fumbling too much. And yes, I guess I have shown the dinosaur paintings. So your children can actually do the outlines, and whatever they want to color, they can in any way they want to. And yes, what is the best part of our day are the nap times. Because these days what I do is I want him to get up, we will do some activities, and then I really want him to go to sleep as soon as he can. And during the sleep routines, he has playtime, and then when he is about to go to sleep, either he wants us to read a story or he wants us to just go on with our imagination and tell him stories. These days he tells us that now I'll provide you with my choice of story and the characters which I want into, and then you tell me a story. So now I have started doing that. I ask him and I motivate him to tell stories in any which language he wants to. And then when he finishes off his story, I ask him that what is his favorite character, what are the traits he like in that character, why does he want to be like that, or is there anything which that character is not afraid of. And since he was afraid of darkness a little while back, and we read out to him a few stories, there were a few movies in which there were people, especially an Indian movie, it was on surgical strike, so we told him that army men wear night vision goggles, so he related it with Paw Patrol. And he told me that Chase is there, who becomes Spy Chase, and he wears night vision goggles, so in darkness they go and they have green eyes. So it was like, yeah, sometimes children also provide you with solutions to meet out with their fears. So that's also a nice idea. If your child is not able to come up with some of their fears and they are not able to talk about it, you can make some stories, you can do some puppet shows at home. They actually do not need it, and that you want a puppet to properly look like Barney or the Muppets, but they just want a character. You can even talk with your hands to them, and say, this is my son, this is your friend, this is a dinosaur friend, this is your cow. Whatsoever characters they love, you can talk about it and make some stories. And if they are afraid of a few things, Tutu Nav, yes, he's very happy with watching him all over the places. So then yes, I guess I showed you. And also for children who are less than 6, not 1 year old, you can help them to make watercolor paintings just like this one. You just make them wear an apron and get some color books, or you can draw with pen and pencil, and this is how you can promote them. You put some color in the palette and ask them to color it. Wait now. I'll show it to you later on, Nav. Are you a good boy or not? Oh my god, my real life is also on live telecast, but it's okay. And there are, can you show your cube please? Playmat play also you can do. This is readily available in any of the markets, and these days people just buy it for learning habits for children. It is like this. I'll just show you. Here it goes, and your child can actually learn to make few good things, not just putting alphabets in a proper manner, but they can also make houses or cubes with it. These were the alphanumeric mats which I got it for him. These are available in different sizes. In fact, we made some cubes over here, and there are a few more cubes lying over there. So there are many shapes which you and your child can come up with. My son loves to make cubes, he loves to make robots, he loves to make house out of it, and you just open your wings of imagination and you can do whatever you want to with your kid. And I guess, yes, children who are smaller than 6 months, or maybe like 6 months to a year old, who are actually dependent upon you, you can make them dance along with you. So this is a Hindi song, Aaj Mere Yaar Ki Shaadi Hai. This was done for my brother's wedding though. And this is how we made him dance. He loved the music, he loved the peppy music and the beats, so he still is a lover of music, and when you just get out of your creative zone, you have a block of mind that I have done so much, but my son is, or my daughter is not satisfied with my services, So what you can do is play their favorite music and dance along. because in lockdown you are also not able to channelize your energy, and you tend to get frustrated, and that is actually overwhelming with a child who is smaller. So you just play some music of your own choice, or your kids or your husband's maybe. You can dance. There are people who make TikTok videos these days. So instead of going all over social media, just spend some time together. Do not just try to showcase whole of your life on the social media. This is the time which I know it is very alarming on the parts of how you will be dealing with it in the future, especially when people are told to have paid leaves. But instead of that, just be in the moment, enjoy it with your family, dance it through, dance it along, cook together, wash together, clean together, and teach them, tell them stories as a couple. These are also hashtag couple goals, which you need to learn that how you grew as a child. For you, your parents were there, and at this fast-paced life, if you didn't have always complained about, I wish that I had more time with my children, this is the time. This is when you have to milk the moment. Spend as much time with your child as possible. You're working from home, yes. Oh yes, that was the point I was missing on. I hope I have not taken too much time, although it's more than half an hour I feel, but just 5 minutes more and then we'll be stopping the session. And please let me know in comments and your reviews about how did I do, and how we can again come up on UAE Health Hub about sharing our experiences. And I would actually be live again in future, maybe with them, maybe just alone. But I really love the initiative by Beetle and Goliath and UAE Health Hub. So please guys, I'll share in this video link also in comment section that how you can go about it and how you can learn few different things which mothers and fathers from all over UAE are doing for their children, for their families, for their spouses. So yes, how did I talk to my son about coronavirus is that he was skeptical that why we are not going to parks on weekends, or what going out for just some dinner or movie time. So he asked me one day, why are we always at home these days? So I could not come up with a better idea. I just told him that the disease is roaming outside, and he says, is disease visible? So I told him no. Then he said, how does a disease go from one place to another? I told him that it's a disease cycle which keeps on running from here and there. And in some of my Instagram videos I also shared about how an infection spreads and about hand hygiene. So he knew the basics about it. So I told him that this disease cycle comes over to your home. It does not enter your home, but it's right outside your home. So if you step out, the disease cycle will ask you to sit on it, and it will take you to bad places, and where all the garbage is there, and you will feel that you are not able to breathe properly. You'll sneeze, you'll cough, and you might have fever. So earlier when my husband was still going for the health camps, he asked me why he is going. So I told him that because he is a warrior and he is going to fight with the disease cycle. So he is okay with the notion of it. You can come up with any ideas that why you have to stay at home, why they have to stay at home, why their schools are not going on, and why they cannot meet their friends. This was my idea of telling him. And yes, what is work from home, I also told him, because he was complaining me that Papa always goes Papa always goes on phone, and then he tells me that he has called from office. He's not playing with me. So we have to deal with such situations as well. That your if you both are working parents, then you have to tell your children that there are times when they cannot play, and this is not a holiday phrase. You are actually working from your laptops or over your phone, and you are still working being at home. So there is a difference of being in a holiday and being available at home and still not be available for them to play all the time. So tell them, make a routine, and stagger the time likewise, that someone, if they are free, they can look after your kids. Means either of you. I do not know if your house help is still there, but mine is not there, and I was a stay-at-home mom already, so we know our time slots and how we deal with it. So yes, as parents, you have to devise a plan. Yes, it's your mama. Who else it will be? Ask them to make sceneries, ask them to tell you how they feel these days, and any of their emotions you can talk about, why they feel angry, why they feel sad, because these are the times that your child will also express some kind of anxiety or anger, because they are not the ones who are able to tell you that what they are going through. But as parents, it's your responsibility that you have to understand and acclimatize them to the situations which are at the moment. And it's not always play, it's not always screen time, or it's not always happy-go-lucky kind of atmosphere that will prevail at home. So under these circumstances, you should know how to deal with your kid, how to deal with your family as a whole. And these are a few key points I shared about, that how I deal with my kid and how I channelize his creativity. And I would be happy enough if you will share about it in your comments, or if in future we'll have any more live sessions, I would request you to join in with me and tell me and provide your inputs as well. And this is me signing off from here now. And do give a like and follow to me if you can. And yes, please contribute your thoughts to UAE Health Hub